What's going on, you guys? Ray here, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to be jumping into the game mode bounty, going over some tips and strategy to help you guys increase that win percentage and get those trophies. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so first we're going to be going over some tips that you guys should be practicing on in order to get a little bit better, and then we're going to jump into some gameplay, see if I can't practice what I preach, and see what we can't do in the game. So let's jump right into the first tip. So for my first tip is make sure you guys are selecting brawlers that fit on that map. Now I feel like I've said this several times in some of my other tip videos, but it is super important. You need to take a second before you jump into the game. Maybe try it out on practice mode before you jump in just to see what the map is, and then select your brawler accordingly. There are maps that don't fit certain brawlers. For example, Shooting Star really benefits the longer range brawlers, and you shouldn't be playing brawlers that have some of that tankiness appeal. You don't want to be bringing like an El Primo or a Bull on that map because you're going to just get picked apart by the long range brawlers. So you got to really take a second before and really think about what brawler is going to be good in that map. Now for another example, if you guys are jumping into Terracotta Square, you might not want to bring long range brawlers in as much. Now they still are going to be pretty good, however some of the shorter range, mid-range brawlers do a really good job on that map. So make sure to jump into a practice game, get a feel for the map before you start pushing on the ladder, and see what brawlers are going to fit best for you. Alrighty guys, jumping into the second tip. Now this is one of my pet peeves whenever I jump into a match with other people. Make sure you guys are not being overly aggressive when you have a high bounty. I see this several times, time and time again, where sometimes the tankier brawlers kind of do this more often, but some of the long range brawlers do as well. Once they start getting higher bounty, maybe like 4 or 5, they're still playing super aggressive. Now you don't want to be extremely passive, you don't want to be completely passive, just because then the brawlers can start pushing into your spawn and really collapse on you. However, you don't want to be pushing forward trying to pick up a kill desperately if they only have a 2-star bounty and you have a 5. The trade-off is not worth it, you know what I mean? So if you were to die by the rest of the team trying to go for another 2-star bounty, it's not going to be favorable. It's just not worth the risk. You want to protect your bounty once you get a bit higher. Now, if you are a bit lower, you can be a little bit more aggressive. However, you don't want to feed the other team kills. So that's my second tip, you guys. Make sure you guys are practicing. If you guys are getting higher in bounty, make sure to play a little bit more passive. It's going to help out your team a lot, and it's going to increase your win percentage. Alright, so for my third tip, and what I highly recommend all of you guys try to do, is make sure you guys are practicing strafing. Now what strafing is moving back and forth, trying to screw up the brawlers that have a little bit longer range, because the bounty maps predominantly play the longer range brawlers. Even on the maps that are really favorable to the tankier brawlers, you're going to see a lot of longer range brawlers being played, like a Piper or a Brock. So make sure you guys are getting used to strafing. So what strafing is predicting their movements or their shots. So if you see that a Piper is shooting, you can kind of tell when he's going to try and shoot next. So if you're kind of being a little bit secretive with your movements, moving back and forth, trying to dodge, it's going to be helpful. Just because you distract that brawler, he's going to keep trying to shoot at you, and you're not going to get hit. So you're wasting their shots, and you're protecting yourself. So I feel like this is really beneficial on some of the tankier brawlers. Once you get a bit better, now that the tankier brawlers have a boost in their speed, it's a bit easier to dodge. And the mid-range brawlers such as Nita, Poco, and Tara, it takes a little bit of practice to get down. However, it's really important if you want to get close to the brawler without sneaking in the brush. I highly recommend going into practice mode or going into friendly battles with your friends and practice this. It works really, really good once you get a bit better at it. Alright, so for my fourth and final tip, you guys, and arguably one of the most important that you guys should be doing on every single game mode, is make sure you're understanding the meta. Which brawlers are being played the most out of all of them? Now, if you're jumping into a bounty map, if you understand the meta, you should know that a lot of longer range brawlers are going to be played, even if it is a shorter range map that favors the tankier brawlers. So you're going to be seeing a lot of Pipers, a lot of Brocks, a lot of Ricochets. You're going to just be seeing a lot of longer range brawlers. So if you know that ahead of time before you jump into the game, you can use brawlers that kind of counter those brawlers. Like if you're jumping into Shooting Star, the map, you can assume that you're probably going to get a Piper, a Brock, and maybe like a Ricochet. So if you also match that up with a Piper or a Brock, and kind of not counter it, but be on like a level playing field, because the shooting star map really favors the long range brawlers. If you know ahead of time to use the long range brawlers to jump into that game, you're at a little bit of an advantage. So you don't jump in with a tank or something like that. Another really important reason to understand the meta is, perfect example, the tanks. They got a speed increase, so it wasn't a crazy dramatic change. However, it was enough to promote them to be played a lot more. Even on maps like Shooting Star, you're seeing bulls and primos being played all the time. So you can safely assume that if you're jumping into a game map of Temple Ruins on Bounty, you can assume that there's going to be tanks being played, like a Daryl, a bull, or a primo. So if you can plan accordingly to have brawlers that kind of trump those brawlers, maybe a Shelly, then you can kind of plan ahead of that. So you can have kind of like a leg up in that instance. So make sure you guys are understanding the meta. Great ways to keep on top of the meta and who is good is pay attention to the balance changes. Normally when you see the buffs and the nerfs, you can kind of predict which brawlers are going to be more popular than others, such as that speed increase of the tanks. If you can keep in touch with the balance changes, it's going to really help you predict who's going to be good in the meta and who you guys should be playing and who you guys should be staying away from. So try and keep track of the balance changes and keep up with the meta. It's going to help you guys out dramatically and increase that win percentage. Alrighty guys, so for the remainder of the video, we're going to be jumping into some bounty gameplay, practicing some of the tips that we brought up earlier in the video. Now, before we jump into that, I just want to show you guys kind of what I like to do, my process before I jump into any of the maps on any of the game modes. Now, looking at the bounty map that we're going into, we're playing on Star Gulch. Now, for me personally, I have a hard time remembering all the names and what specific map that is. So before I jump into any of the games, I like to jump into just the practice map, just to remind me what the map is before I jump into it, just in case I accidentally jump into the wrong one and screw everything up with the team comp. So we're going up against bots, so that's all I really need to see. So let's quit it. So we know that this map is a long range map, kind of like Shooting Star. So brawlers that will fit well on this map are like Rico, Piper, Brock, and things like that. So now that we know that, we can jump in confident that we know exactly who we want to be. So I'm going to be Piper to start things off. And let's see how we can do, guys. Alright. So here we go. Another brawler that I really enjoy bringing on this map, specifically, is Bo. For some reason, the long range maps, I've been really taking a liking to Bo. He's really good. Now, perfect example, kind of like what we brought up in earlier in the video, is that a lot of tanks are being played. So you can assume that brawlers like Daryl, Primo, people like that are going to be played a little bit more frequently in these game modes. Okay, so he snuck around. But see how much trouble he's having? Oh, and we got a bull. See how much trouble they're having? They're getting just beaten down, guys. Just beaten down. Just because it's so wide open. So easy for us to hit them. Okay. Okay, we're close to our super. Hopefully the Colt kind of helps us out. Whoa, what is he doing? Okay, we got the Daryl off screen. Good. Oh, we missed. You see this? It's just too easy to hit him. So guys, really make sure. This is a great example. I'm happy we got this in the video. Really make sure you're understanding the map and the meta. Playing to the map is more important than the brawlers that are good right now. Even if a bull is fantastic right now in the current meta, the map that he plays on is just as important, if not important, more important. You gotta play the brawlers that fit on the maps. Okay. Alright, taking out the bull. We got a full star bounty, so we're not playing super aggressive. We just want to kind of stay a little safe. He's going to be right. Never mind. Where the heck did the tar go? How did we miss? Okay, we got to... See, the one thing that gets a little bit scary with these tankier brawlers is, on these maps, is eventually they're going to push up. And you're going to have to make a decision. Either to run. Normally, you got to run. There you go. Nice. Okay, try to avoid Daryl as best we can. Okay, so we ended up dying, but we took out the Daryl. We got a good enough lead as it is. Okay, taking out the Tara. We got a star power too if they come in. Alright, let's just try and keep the pressure up just a little bit so we can keep them at bay. So they don't pin us off really quickly. Okay, just slowly nicking away at Bull here. Oh, I tried to hit him while he's in his roll. Okay. Alright, taking out the Daryl. 38 to 26. Alright, doing good here. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. 40 to 26. So, guys, perfect example. Make sure you're picking the correct brawlers that fit well on these maps. Very poor team composition on the enemy team. We were just at an immediate advantage beforehand, so make sure you guys are doing that. Picking up the star player. Woo, I like that. Okay, let's jump into another one. Alright, so I am going to be, in this next game, a Brock, just because Brock really fits well on this map. Okay, jumping into it. Let's be Brock and see how we can do now. Okay, hopefully there's more tanks being played, because it's easy trophies, guys. Okay, don't want to get too cocky. Okay, so this is more of a correct team composition that we're going up against, so hopefully we can play all right here. Okay, so what I like to do with Brock is just kind of launch him out, hopefully trying to slowly get to our super. We took a shot by Piper there. Alright, our Piper looks like she's maxed. It's not making a difference. Crow just has a really good playability in most of the maps, most of the game modes. Okay, so we're able to nick that Colt. Okay, hitting that Colt again. Alright, let's wait for the Crow to get close. Alright, let's take out the Crow. Nice. Okay, let's back off. 5 to 4. We have our super. We're just going to wait and heal up a little bit. We really got to be careful for the Pipers. You just want to always stay out of that kill range with the... Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, so we don't want to get too distracted by the Crow. Okay, backing off a little. Okay, we're not at... Alright, taking out the Colt. Nice. 12 to 7. Alright, let's just go like this. He's gonna run backwards into the super. I've found that with Brock, no matter what, whenever you launch your super, the first reaction is just to run backwards. So try to place the super a little bit behind them so they run into it, not in front of it. Sometimes players can respond to it in a good way. Okay, here we go. Let's take out the Crow. Nice. 18 to 8. Sometimes you gotta use that super in not super dramatic waves. Like we were able to pick up the kill on the Crow there because of it. Only used it for one hit, but it still picked up the kill. Okay, this is a perfect example of what not to do. You don't want to play super aggressive when you have a bounty like this, but our team is doing pretty well here. If we were to die, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. I'm really trying to keep that Crow at bay. Oh goodness, we gotta protect that Piper. Wish we wouldn't have died there. Alright, taking out the Colt. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, we don't want the Piper to die. Nice, doing good. Alright, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Don't die, Piper. Stay alive. Yes. Alright, 31 to 21. That was a much better game than the last one. Picking up a star player again. Sweet. Doing really well. So that game was a bit better than the last one. I liked how it went. It was a little bit more competitive, just because when you're playing up against those tanks on this map, it's way too easy to pick up the kills. So let's jump into one more. Like I said before, I like to bring in Bo on this map a lot. Now, I'm not sure. I would love to bring this up more in a Bo strategy guide, but I'm not sure if you guys know with the strafing with a Bo. If you strafe to the right, you shoot more in a spread like that. It's good to know with Bo. So if I ever make a strategy guide, I'll bring this up as well. But if you strafe to the left, it's more accurate. It shoots in like one area. So if you're strafing to the left, it shoots more in a direct path. But if there's like a bunch grouped up, you want to be strafing to the right so you can ensure that you're going to get some hits. Alright, so we only got one shot off on the Colt there. Okay. I just like to have that pressure with Bo. You might not do a whole lot of damage, but it's enough to keep them down, keep them low. Okay, let's set off the mines right here. Alright, so Colt is looping around, but we're getting help from our team here. Oh! Sometimes those, oh, Nice. Oh, I thought we were gonna get the Colt there. So close. Alright, let's back off a little. Nice spike. Alright, so let's see if we can't direct our path. Woo! 4%! Let's stay alive, man. Oh, 8 to 10. Oh, this is a good match, guys. Good match. Okay. It'd be nice if we could get our mines again. Those always come in handy. Let's go like this before we die. Oh, the spike's gonna get us. Dang it, dang it, dang it. That spike is doing really, really good. Alright. Here we go. Oh, the spike! The spike is insane! Alright, let's stay alive. 8 to 17. Where's the spike at? I feel like I've heard a lot of people saying that Spike needs a nerf. But I feel like Spike... I mean, a buff. But I feel like Spike is really, really good right now. I don't think he needs anything changed to him. Alright, so we're down 10. It's not looking good. Okay, Spike was taken down. So if we were to kill both these guys in 14 seconds, though I doubt that's going to happen. Woo! Strafing our best. No! Okay, 18 to 23. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Another close match, guys. Another close match. But this is a perfect example. You win some and you lose some. You can't be perfect in games like this. They had a... Oh, my goodness. That spike was pretty good. Our spike was really good as well. No excuses, guys. We should have won that. Alright, you guys. So let's jump back to the home screen and talk about bounty a little bit more. So I hope you guys enjoyed the bounty strategy guide. It's really important to understand the maps. I cannot stress that enough. On any of the game modes that you're playing on, it's really important to understand the maps. And I'm really happy that we got that those tanks in the video. It's a perfect example. You don't want to be playing those brawlers on longer range maps. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed the video and I hope it helped you guys out. If it did, make sure to leave a like on it. Also, comment below on what your favorite bounty map is. I would love to know that. So with that being said, you guys, make sure to keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.